Hi, Jenny. Can you see all this stuff? I just raided my fridge for dairy products because one subject that comes up a lot is whether you should or shouldn't put dairy products into your bokashi bin. The answer is yes, it's absolutely fine. What you shouldn't put in your bokashi bin is liquids, and I think this is where the misunderstandings have come from, because a lot of dairy products are actually quite liquid, like milk and so on. And it's those things, the milk and the liquid products, that you shouldn't be putting in your bokashi bin. Not because they're dairy, but because the bin will get too wet and you'll have trouble with it. So I've rated everything here in my fridge. It was quite a lot actually, and I'm just going to go through them one by one and say what would, in theory, go in the bucket and what wouldn't. In this case, they're all perfectly okay, and anyway, I tend to eat things until the day they die, so it's hypothetical. Dairy products are quite high in protein, and that puts some extra pressure on your bokashi bin. How you compensate that is the same as you do with fish or meat or chicken or whatever. You just add extra bokashi bran. So in this case, I have my bokashi bran here in this airtight jar, and I would just put on an extra sprinkle when I'm adding anything that's high protein like dairy. So what have we got here? Right. Where do I start? This is sour milk, like liquid yogurt. No, I wouldn't put that in there. This is Turkish yogurt, which is quite thick. What I would do is drain off the liquid and put the contents in the bin, and then layer it with something more solid. A little bit of bokashi bran and then some normal food waste on the top of it. What's this? Sour cream. Sour cream is basically fine. It's quite solid. Just make sure you're putting a balance layer by layer of things that are a little bit more liquid with some things that are more solid, and it will sort itself out. I have here some cheese, some nice Roquefort. There's no way that's going in the bokashi bin, by the way, but this will be fine if you put it in. The green mold is generally not an issue. We don't normally throw out so much that it's a problem. If you have this much blue vein cheese, you would need to rethink it, because the two types of, all the various microbes might not work out together. But a little bit like this, no worries. I've got butter, this kind and this kind. Actually fine. If they were melted, I would probably, or liquid in some way, I would wipe the butter up in some paper towels that I was anyway going to throw out, or serviettes that were already used, and put those into the bucket just to help manage the liquids, and a little bit of extra bran, because in that case it's quite a lot of fat, as are these others as well. So this is cooking cream, to liquid, down the sink unfortunately. Vanilla sauce, which is fantastic with the rhubarb crumble. It's liquid. Unfortunately, I mean, you eat these things up, but down the sink basically. Philadelphia cheese, which is famous for going a little bit green around the edges when you leave it in the fridge for too long. It's quite solid, so in the bin. And a normal yellow cheese, which, as you can see, this is starting to get some green spots on it. I'll just cut those off and carry on with the cheese, but the bits that I cut off will go in here like everything else. If you have something that's really gone off, like let's say you've got a cheese that's just, green, you found it in the back of the fridge, what I would do is chop it up into small pieces, absolutely put in there, extra bokashi bran, but don't start a new bucket with something that's a little bit off. Like, try to start the bucket with something healthy, normal food waste, kind of fresh food waste, and then when you think that the bucket's got a chance to get going, then you crumble in this or slice it in or whatever, so that the contents of the bucket have a better chance to take care of the thing that's a bit icky and sticky. So that's it. Dairy products, no problem at all in the bokashi bucket. Liquids go down the sink or some other place. Easy. Keep it easy. Make it simple.